right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my quick rundown of new books coming out this Wednesday's new comic book release day, on November 8th, 2023. So these are some books that I'm going to be picking up, some things I got my eye on, some incentives that might be selling for a bit of a premium, later prints, homage covers, things that just jump out and look pretty cool that I feel are worth sharing with you guys. So hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. Keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel on our way to 3K. We only need about 30 more, and we will be doing another round of giveaways. As I said, the comments, the likes, the subscribes, all of that helps the channel. So if you're enjoying the content, please help us out and show us that you are enjoying it. Otherwise, how do we know? That said, if you want to see this week's books, just hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, so let's get right into it with our buzz books. These are some books that I've been hearing a little bit of talk about in the weeks leading up to this Wednesday's new releases. The first one being something that came out, seems like a month ago, a while ago now, was that Raphael, that Turtles cover that is going to match. We knew there was going to be a set, so we had the Raphael. Now we're getting a Leonardo. I don't know when the rest of the Turtles are coming, but here we go with another addition to that that kind of a Mexican Day of the Dead kind of vibe there. Cover there. So I like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's just cover price. It's not an incentive, so should be easy to find and shouldn't break your wallet to pick one up if you dig it too. I mean, it's only $4 after all. So with that said, that's one book that I figured it was worth mentioning again because it's been a while since that first one came out. But like I said, I know a lot of people were excited for the first one. Now we're getting a couple of more. So if you want to get your turtle sets, keep it going. That said, our next book that I'm actually looking forward to a lot is Transformers. I'm an 80s kid. I'm a geek. I love this stuff from Voltron to G.I. Joe, Transformers. All this stuff is definitely my wheelhouse. So I'm on board so far with what Skybound is doing with this new series. So with that said, issue 2 comes out this week. Looking forward to it. This could be on my reading pile, but I felt like it's got enough buzz to make the buzz section. So issue 2's got a cover A. There's also a cover B. And then there's also a couple incentives as well if you are so inclined to pay up for those ratio variants. I'm just going to get the A and B this time out. I'm not buying out all these ratios or anything like that. There's no spoiler cover to go and chase. There's no super cool, at least to me, incentive. I do kind of like the 1 in 50 a bit with the Starscream there, but not enough to pay that 1 in 50 price that it kind of goes for. None of these are selling above ratio right now. I mean, there's a 1 in 10, 1 in 25, and a 1 in 50. Most of them are slightly under ratio right now. As far as pre-sales go, you can get the 1 in 10 for like $8. You can get the 1 in 25 for like 20, and you can get the 1 in 50 for in like $40 kind of range if you wanted it. So those don't have the, I'm not showing you the prices because they're not selling for a premium right now. Who knows what will happen after release day, but for right now, you can get them if you want them. Also starting this week, there are a lot of new number ones, and we'll get to those in the new number one section. But the first one I wanted to take out of that new number one section and put it in the buzz section is we're finally getting that new Punisher that they mentioned months ago. It's finally here. The time is now. Our brand new Punisher. We'll find out who this guy is this week. Curious. I will admit that. I'll say I'm very, very curious. So I'm going to be checking this out to see what this story is, how this guy is going to replace Frank Castle as our Punisher. But definitely has a bunch of covers for you. Cover A, cover B. There's also a Moon Knight Ends variant, as you've been seeing throughout the last few weeks, that all the Marvel titles are getting those Moon Knight covers just randomly mixed in. So pretty cool one there, but it doesn't really fit right now because it's a Punisher title. And we, of course, got a Scotty Young if you are a Scotty Young collector. And incentives as well, from a 1 in 25 to a Virgin, 1 in 100 there for this new Punisher book. And as you might expect, the highest ratio book is the one we're going to take a look at because that's the one that's usually selling at that premium. In this case, I only found one pre-sale a little above that ratio at $123. So we'll see what happens. I wouldn't go crazy for this just yet. There are options out there, very expensive. So a lot of people going fishing with some of these prices. So I don't know if they're going to get it, but $175, $190, and $250 they're asking for pre-sales, but only one sold so far, and it didn't sell for anywhere close to that. So we'll see.
Let's go fishing.
Who knows? Maybe somebody will bite. It's not going to be me, but maybe somebody else will. That said, let's get into my reading list first. And yeah, a few titles I want to keep up with. I will admit, I fell behind a bit and did not read all of that Gotham War as of yet. It just one of those events. Sometimes you got to sit an event out because there's just too much going on, and I just had too many other books and things going on. I couldn't keep up with Gotham War. I'll catch up, but I am looking forward to a new storyline starting here with the explosive mind bomb begins. I don't know. Batman looks like it's Joker related. I'm interested, got my attention, so I will be checking this out. Plus, I always get Batman. This is just going into my constant pull anyway. Whether I'm up to date on my reading or not, this is getting pulled for my reading list and put at the top of the pile. Cover A to be had there. There's also a Delato B, and there's a Frank Cho C, or D. I don't know if those are B and C, but other regular regular variants that could be had for cover price. There are ratio variants from a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 50 there in the middle, as well as a foil cover if you want to pay that premium for a shiny Bat logo foil glitch cover or whatever they're calling it. Yeah, it's there. When I run down these covers coming through this section here, you might see there's one missing because there is one missing from Batman, but I got it set for another segment. So you'll catch that one later. That might be the case for a couple of these books because they fit other categories and I feel like they fit the other ones better. So with that said, we're going to move on to the next book in my reading pile, which is Amazing Spider-Man. Also starting off another Spidey event for them, this gang war that they've been pumping up for a while now. And looks like we got Wreck Rap there on the cover as well. I don't know what to expect out of this, but should be interesting. A lot of other Marvel characters getting involved. We got a Carrie Andrews cover, looks pretty cool. There's a video game Spider-Punk looking cover there if you're interested in that as well. And there is another Art Adams book to go and grab. I did pre-order this because I do like Art Adams. I do like Mary Jane covers. And while this one isn't like the greatest cover in the world, it was good enough for me to go, all right, I'll pay that. It was I also pre-ordered them under ratio. But with that said, prices seem to be ticking up a tiny bit. We'll see. As of right now, the recent sales are right around ratio in that kind of $25 range, hitting 30. Yes, there's one sold for 40, but still hovering right around that $25 to $30 range. So ratio and slightly above. You can see that as well in the asking prices. There are copies available, $25, $30, $35. If you are so inclined that you want to add this to your collection. But that's up to you. I don't know if these are going to be hard to find. I don't think so. I mean, Spider-Man's a big title, and there is a 1 in 100 for this as well. But again, that's in another section because it's one of those Disney homage covers, those Disney 100 covers. So we'll cover that one in a bit. With that said, we are also getting Gods #2. So following up on Hickman's new tale, I'm going to try to keep up with this as best I can. It's interesting. Hopefully I can, keep reading it and not get lost in the shuffle. And also he doesn't leave us hanging as far as how this is going to wrap up whenever it does wrap up. I mean, we're only 2 in, so I don't want to look towards the end already, but we'll see how it goes. There's a cover A. There's also a cover B. I think is it Del Mundo maybe? I can't remember who's doing cover B, but that cover B is also, as you might guess, going to be a virgin version for that high ratio 1 in 100 incentive, but there is a 1 in 25 as well if you're into that. But the 1 in 100 is the one that people gravitate towards because that seems to be Marvel's go-to these days. They got a new book, a big book coming out. They want to push that 1 in 100 incentive out there and get people chasing it at a premium, it seems. This one, already a couple sold at a premium, 123 back in October. $200 also back in October, those pre-sales a couple of weeks ago, and there are none listed. So with that said, I don't know how many people will still be ordering or how many shops will still be ordering 100 copies of Gods, but there it is. They did do a second print, but we'll see if the demand is there to warrant 1 in 100s going forward. I mean, I don't know why they need to do a 1 in 100. They could have done a 1 in 50 just as easily, or it could have just stuck with the 1 in 25. But Marvel pushing it to 1 in 100. Here we go. Got people chasing and paying extreme premiums for these high ratio incentives. Also coming out this week, looking forward to issue 2 of our buddy Tony Fleece's Army of Darkness Forever. It was a fun read for issue 1. Looking forward to issue 2 and keeping up with that story to see what Ash gets up to in this, Ash and Bad Ash for that matter. I'm looking forward to this. So definitely in my my reading pile, top of the list. issue 2. This is the Matina cover, I believe. Then there's also Tony Fleece has a cover, and there's a bunch of other covers mixed in here. You know, it's Dynamite, so there's a lot. I just highlighted the Campbell, which is an older cover, but they're reusing it for this 1 in 10 art because, well, I like Campbell, and it's also a pretty fun Ash cover. So keep an eye out for it. But I'd be happy with the A or the B there, personally. I'll just see which one I feel like grabbing when I go to the shop. That said, I mentioned a lot of new number ones, and here we go with those new number ones for this week. Starting off with another book. I could have put this in my reading pile because my buddy at work did convince me to give this a try. Whatever this Count Crawley, Mediocre Midnight Monster Hunter. He said the first run was pretty fun. I think this is the second volume because I think it was like a trainee or something at first. This is written by David Dashmel. I can't say his name. Dashmelchian? Polka Dot Man. The actor who played Polka Dot Man, writes comics. He is a comic book fan and he writes comics. He wrote this series about like a late night TV show host who's also, I guess, a vampire hunter or monster hunter, I should say, not vampire, but monster hunter. Kind of fun premise. I'm interested. And like I said, this is the next murderous chapter. So there was a volume before this. I'll try to pick it up at this one because I don't feel like going and hunting the old series just yet, and just see how it is. I'll give it a try. If I like it, I'll go back. But you guys, if you know about this, let me know in the comments down below if I should definitely go back and get those older books before this one even hits on Wednesday, because I got to wait. Actually, I got to wait a little bit beyond Wednesday because I ordered this from Midtown, so that's probably not going to get to me till Friday. That's around about when they ship me my books because I'm not that far. You know, Jersey's not that far from New York, so when I order from Midtown, I just generally get it a couple days late. That said, looking forward to this. There is also a B cover for this book as well, if you're into that too. Kind of fun, and see where this series is going to go. Another interesting book that kind of caught my eye as a number one was another Scout book. Seems like a lot of Scout books are getting optioned for animated shows these days. Reading the premise of this with this like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit, more adult, satirical, film noirish. I don't know. There's an old bunny here. This also seems like it's something that could be animated. I don't know. So keep an eye out on this Mitch character. Issue 1. There's also a B cover and a C cover, and there is a 1 in 25 spot foil incentive variant. So I'm assuming the blue is in foil and then the black is not. I think they should do more spot foil because the full foil covers, a lot of them, just dull. Just dull. That said, keeping a look at this 1 in 25, while none have sold, I only found one listed and they're looking for $45. So this could be a tough one. I mean, it is Scout. After all, Scout is not one of the larger publishers, so a higher ratio incentive at 1 in 25 is a pretty tall order because a lot of shops are not going to order 25 copies of an indie book. They just don't. So could be tough to find. So just want to keep an eye on it and see what happens. And especially if this series gets popular, this could be one that people start chasing. I don't know. With that said, I want to give the series a shot just to give it a read, see what it's like. Well, I don't know. I thought about putting it in the reading list, but it wouldn't be at the top. It's something I'll throw in the pile, but it's probably not going to be at the top of the pile because I'm just curious and I want to check out these new series. Like this next one, which is Petrolhead. This one's coming out of Image, and something about robot racers just trying to save the world in this futuristic, I don't know, Death Race 2000 sounding twisted metal type of universe. I don't know. Seemed interesting enough. Something to give a read. Few covers here. This is the cover A. There's a green and a purple, as well as the cover D, which is a kind of cool looking like garage shot. I don't know, something cool about that to me. So I like that one in the middle, and that's probably going to be the one I try to grab when I go to the shop to check this out. Another interesting book that I don't know much about. Just the covers alone kind of caught my attention because it had this creepy girl on them with these big manga eyes, anime style, whatever this Zawa and the Belly of the Beast is. So this is coming out of Boombox. Issue 1. Some kind of little girl creature with fangs eating a popsicle. I don't know. The art looks cool, at least on these covers. And there are multiple covers. This is cover A. There's also a B and a C, which is the Scotty Young. People might go after that one because it's an FOC reveal cover for this Scotty Young. Don't know what's going to happen with these. And this even has ratios because it's Boom. Boom does ratios from version 1 to 10 on the side there. There's a 1 in 25 as well as a 1 in 50, which is kind of like a remastered, recolored, spookier look at that cover A. So it's kind of like a mirror image and upside down kind of quality. I don't know. I'm curious. Like I said, I don't know much about this title yet. I'm curious. The covers got me interested. I might look for that Scotty Young one. I don't know. We'll see. With that, we are also getting more Star Wars High Republic. So Star Wars High Republic is returning. So this is volume 3. So this is for phase 3. New number 1, which means we're getting a couple of more covers here. Thankfully, not too many. There's a few. There's a B, and a C, and then there's also incentives. So we're getting a 1 in 25 here. That looks like it has one on the name list or something there going on the cover, as well as a virgin version there of that middle one for the 1 in 100. And, Star Wars 1 in 100. A lot of times they get hot out of the gate and then they get forgotten about. I don't know if that will be the case for this one again, but these seem to be even cooling on that hot out of the gate, with the first one selling actually under ratio. It's the only one I got sold under ratio at about $90. Asking prices are more in that range we're familiar with, $173, $225, $250 for a 1 in 100 pre-sale. We'll see what happens when copies actually hit people's hands and stores get copies in hand, because I'm sure there is still plenty of exclusives. A lot of artists in particular like to do exclusives for Star Wars. So with all those Star Wars exclusives, they also get a healthy dose of the incentives because they have to order so many copies. So keep that in mind too when you're out there shopping and thinking about pulling out that wallet and paying some of these high premium prices. That said, Marvel does have another new number 1. Probably going to put this in the reading list because I am a fan of the character of Thanos, and I'm definitely going to be reading it. But I just left it in the new number 1 section because it is a new number 1, and I already mentioned I'm probably going to want to check out all of these ones that I'm putting in here. But Thanos, Return of the Mad Titan, cover A. I don't like the advertisements. I will say that right now. I don't like it when Marvel puts advertisements on the top of their covers. So I get it. The Marvels is coming out November 10th. I don't need that on the comic book. I just don't need it. I don't want it. Put it inside, put it on the back cover. Oh, I don't care what you do. I just don't like those advertisement bars on my front covers. Personal preference, just saying. So I'm not going to be getting the cover A, and hopefully that bar does not appear on the other variants as well, because there are other variants from I think it's an Art Germ. I think it's doing that B cover in the middle, and then there's also a C cover, and then there's a 1 in 25, which is pretty cool, and then there's a 1 in 100 there of that middle Thanos. So keep an eye on that as well. So Marvel doing their 1 in 100 dance again, making a virgin version of a cover that they can sell to you for cover price. Pre-sales, well, 175. Somebody already bought one of those on November 2nd. So that was only a couple days ago. Somebody bought one 4 days ago for $175. And then the asking prices are, well, 125, 225, 230. No, Marvel 1 in 100s. This is kind of the market we're in these days. Pre-sale asking prices seem to be double up plus. And then if they don't sell, the prices come down. If they do sell, well, they linger there. I don't know. We'll see what happens as this goes on. But for now, this is what we're dealing with. And with that, I think now is a good time to pivot from, reading list, a lot of things I'm looking forward to the exact opposite. Things I am not looking forward to at all, because why?
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
So, yes, this is my WTF section, and in this section, I have 2 books, both coming out of DC, both part of a series of variants they're going to be giving us, and I don't know why. Who asked for this? I don't care. I don't want McFarlane action figure covers, personally. I like collecting action figures. I don't need them featured on covers. That seems silly to me. It's like I'm buying a Sears catalog for Christmas. Like, I don't want to see toys on my comic books in this way. This, yeah, okay, it's an homage. Bane breaking Batman's back. Great. Fantastic. I just don't care. I don't know. It's just not for me. I don't want to be shut. I mean, it's not like these are cheap. It's not like I want to go pay $1 for this. I mean, I might pay $1 for this, but this is like $5, $6 even in a lot of cases. I don't want to pay $5-6 just for a picture of toys that looks like a comic cover, kinda, but the toys aren't that posable, so it's not exactly right either. Because, yeah, he's breaking his back, but does it even look like his knee is up? Looks like he's just kind of standing there because he can't get the pose right because the figures are not that articulate. But whatever. You want it, go ahead. It's big old Brawny Bane breaking Batman's back. What is it, 497? You know the cover. If whether I got the number right or not, you know what we're talking about here. And then we get, obviously, soups. So we get a classic Superman, and man, this is just not good. Come on. Be honest with yourselves. Yes, Action Comics 1. Great. Fine. But come on. It's a toy. And it just doesn't look that great. It's all awkward and hunched and just like, I don't know. Whatever. But that's why they're in this section. Not looking forward to these. But if you are, I mean, you don't even have to try to convince me. If you are, I mean, God bless you. You buy what you like. You don't have to like what I like. I don't have to like what you like. I'm just pointing out the fact that these are coming out, and oof, I could do without them personally. That's all. That said, I know a lot of people are sick of homages, but I do like a good homage cover. Don't like all of them. A lot of them get overdone. Even some of these have been done and done before and done again and again and again. But here we are. Homage section. First one up, Thanos has got an homage too. Well, as you might guess it, the Infinity Gauntlet. Not bad. Pretty cool. I think it's a Noto. It's all right. I'm not going to overstate things. It's all right. But yeah, it's a pretty good Infinity Gauntlet homage there. Maybe. Kind of like the, what is it, the Artgerm one a little bit better? I think it's Artgerm. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments down below. I'm doing this all off memory. Like I looked all this stuff up and research is going in, but I'm sitting here by myself for about 30 to 45 minutes, so I'm going to forget some things on the fly. So if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. I won't take offense, but I think it was an Artgerm. That said, we got Thanos 1 here with this homage. And I mentioned the Spider-Man. Yes, we got the Disney 100 this time. They're doing Secret Wars. So we're getting another one of these. This is almost done because I think they're just doing it for this year because this is the 100th year anniversary. So here we are. It's November. So we should be about done with these. So if you're tired of them, I think we're about done. But I think they're going to keep doing them a little bit differently going forward. I think we might be getting something else next year. Not positive, but we'll see. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you. But I shouldn't have to show you. You know the cover, right? You know Secret Wars. There it is. There is also a 1 in 100 version of this as well. So if you're that excited for it, you can buy that black and white. I don't know. They've done it all year, so it's nothing new. Then we got Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, tons of covers on these Garbage Pail Kid out of Dynamite. But I thought this was kind of fun. I mean, we got Nasty Nick here doing his best impression of Wolverine. And this isn't even an homage to a cover per se. I know they've done covers homaging this panel when Wolverine is the best there is at what he does. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. So I put this in here. Frank Frazetta's Mothman, number 3. I think it's number 3. Has also got a movie poster homage here. We got The Fly. We got Brundlefly. If you're into that, I remember liking this movie as a kid. Kind of creeped me out. Jeff Goldblum. But yeah, kind of fun. Don't know if I'm going to be picking this one up, though. Or this next one, because, geez, we've had it. How many of these visions have we had? Come on, Avengers 57. We've seen this enough, and I don't even know what this Millennials Viewer Special title is. Doesn't seem like a comic that's for me anyway, so I'm probably not buying this. But just wanted to show you that we are getting another Avengers 57. If you haven't had enough, if you haven't had enough Star Wars 1, guess what? We're getting another one of those too. So buckle up. This one is on what is this? Captain Ginger and the Last Feed. I don't know what that is either. I don't know what this title is. I'm not all that into it, but another Star Wars homage because, again, we don't get enough of them. But I thought I would figure I'd share it because some of you guys might still want it. Maybe you're not tired of it yet. And like I said, God bless you. Go ahead. Keep collecting. Nothing wrong with collecting what you want to collect. I'm just saying I'm tired with some of these things. That's all. Up next, interlocking covers. Yep, connecting covers, puzzle covers, whatever you call them. I am a fan of these. I love it when, you got to buy multiple covers to kind of put them together. You make a nice larger image. Some of these ones I'm going to show you today are kind of continuations and wrapping up things I've talked about before. So this next one, we got Creepshow. I believe this is a 1 in 10. This is the 3rd out of 4. So there we go with this next piece of this puzzle. One more to come, and you will finish your 1 in 10 set if you are collecting those connecting covers. I know it doesn't look like they connect because they do look very individualized, if you will, even with the color palette, but they do connect when you see them, them kind of weave themselves into the other. So yeah, The other one is the one, and these are incentives too. The 1 in 25 for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Street Fighter. Yes, the 1 in 25s were connecting covers. This is wrapping up this cover set. If you were buying these, there's high ratio. I mean, this series had what, 1 in 250s, 1 in 500s, I think, even crazy high incentives. But the 1 in 25s all built out this huge fight scene of all these Street Fighter characters and turtles, etc., mixed in. So there you go. If you were buying them, collecting them, your last one comes out this week with number 5. All right, moving on. Later prints. Not a lot this week. No Marvel 1 in 25 incentive ratios on second prints, thankfully. Whew. But DC is giving us some facsimiles because they love, and apparently they're only doing facsimiles on these yellow covers. Have you noticed? I mean, the Riddler one the last time out was like 2 weeks ago, and now we got All-Star Comics 3 facsimile, $7. Again, I can't afford the regular, so getting the facsimile for $7 doesn't seem all that terrible, I guess. I mean, you get it on the nice new paper, so there is some case to be had for buying some of these facsimile covers on the new, new books. But I don't see the point in all of them. That said, sorry I didn't get the transition right, but there we go. $6.99 for the cover. There is also, I think, $7.99 for a blank version, and I think they charge the extra because there's like a cover protective white cover blocking this, so you can protect that bright yellow for your own cover art. And foil. Yeah, there's a foil version, and it's $8.99. So for $9, if you want a shiny version of an All-Star 3 Justice Society of America, go ahead. Not for me, but if you want the shiny foil, go ahead, Bruce. You can buy them. I always bust Bruce balls about that because he likes foils. I don't care for foils, so you can pay that premium if you want it. It's an option. So it's nice that there's an option, but not for me. And like I said, why the yellows? But here we go. Another one this week. Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman 1, also bright yellow. $7 if you want it. $8 if you want the blank, so you can get something drawn on it. And $9 if you, once again, want that shiny foil. $9. So there you go. More facsimiles for you. Outside of that, there's not a lot of later prints this week. In fact, the only other thing coming with later prints are those Conan books. So Conan, number 1, is getting a 5th print. Pretty cool virgin cover here too. Like, I like the detail here on the art. It's pretty sweet, but 5th printing here on number 1. And then number 2 is also coming out with a 3rd print. So if you missed out on these Conan books, they keep printing them. So the demand is there. Again, Joe's Doolin was telling me this is a good series. Got to read it. I have them. I did order them. I even ordered some later printing so I can complete the set so I can just read them. There's 4 issues out right now. So I think I got like a 3rd print number 1, maybe, and like a 2nd print number 2, and then an issue 3 and 4, whatever. I bought them because I want to read them. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I will. I'm going to try to catch up before Wednesday. We'll see. But if you're interested, there's some more later printings for you. Conan, go get them. Adding this in here now is a new category. Probably should have done this last month with the Delato ones, but looks like DC is doing it again. So I'm going to give a nice little feature section for this as we work through them. This time out, it looks like this month they're doing Mike Deodato Spotlight. So I like Mike Deodato's art. We'll take a look at some of the covers they're featuring on DC variants. One of which, again, we've already talked about it, but he's got a Batman cover. Pretty cool. I like how you get that the bats kind of blending into the bat head in the background, and then you also got Batman coming at you in the foreground. Pretty cool. As well as a Poison Ivy cover. Poison Ivy has been known to be giving us multiple great covers, multiple covers you want to buy, and some incentives, some not. So here's another one. So if you're into it, Deodato's got a Poison Ivy cover as well. These are just the first 2, I believe, for this month. I'm going to keep up and check out the next coming weeks and put them in this little section because it looks like DC is doing an artist spotlight. I have no problem taking a look at it because I like that kind of thing. I think it's kind of a cool subset of covers as opposed to doing action figure covers and other dumbass things. This, I think, is kind of fun to spotlight an artist, let them do a bunch of different characters. I kind of like it. Kind of like it. So I'm going to keep following with it, and we'll see how it goes. Speaking of covers, we do have covers that are just catching my eye, things that I just want to get because I think the cover art's awesome. That said, starting it off with Fire and Ice. Yeah, we're already up to issue 3. We already looked at a bunch of these covers, and I like a lot of them. I have yet to read this title. I don't know if it's any good. It probably isn't, to be fair, but who knows? But I will say, I like the Dodson art on the cover A's, but then they've also given us some solid variants as well, including this time out, Sozomaika Polaroid cover. So this is like that incentive that she did on Catwoman, but this time it's Fire and Ice. But this is just a regular, you can pay regular cover price for it if you're into it. So there's an option. Kind of like it. And then the 1 in 25's not bad either. So if you're into it, there. Birds of Prey has a couple of covers. I'm only going to show a couple of ones I like. I like the Chris Bacalo here. I don't know if this is like the B or the C or whatever it is. I think it's a B, and I think this one here is the C cover. So you got a nice little group shot. I don't know. I've been liking them. We will get to the incentive a little bit later. I'm going to put that in the next segment a little bit later. Same thing here with I got a random other Poison Ivy cover. This one is an Otto Schmidt. Also pretty cool. I like it. I like the color palette chosen here. I don't know. It just kind of jumps out at me. Can't buy all of them though. There's just so many good covers for a lot of these. So it's more. This is where some of these fall into that gut. You know, like when you're in the store, you see it on the shelf, you just react to it. You either pick it up, throw it in your pile, and buy it, or you go, it's nice, but I don't need it. So this is like one of those instinct decisions I will make come Wednesday. But I thought it was worth sharing with you guys in case you wanted to be on the lookout for it. I mentioned those Moon Knight covers as well because here we go with a Moon Knight cover on Guardians of the Galaxy. It has nothing to do with Moon Knight, but it's a pretty cool Sienkiewicz cover anyway. So if you're into Moon Knight, you like collecting these Moon Knight's end covers, this is another pretty good one, in my opinion. Pretty good Sienkiewicz. Anyway, those are just the regular covers. We'll move on to some incentives. Starting off with a little IDW. A little My Little Pony Unicorn of Odd. This is number 3 of this series. It's a 1 in 10, so it is what it is. But I like looking at these 1 in 10s. I've always enjoyed the 1 in 10s from IDW. So even though we're at this point we're only looking at like My Little Ponies and some Turtles occasionally, and some Sonics, I still look at them. I'm still curious to see where they go. In this case, pre-sales $13 to $20, asking prices like $14 to $50. I don't know if we're going to get 50, but we'll see. This is like one of those oddball books. Sometimes these things hit out of nowhere. So I like to keep an eye on it, even though I don't plan on buying this because I don't know, really keep up with My Little Pony. But sometimes these books hit. Like I said, Sonic. Here's another one. Sonic 1 in 10 this time. You know, we got Knuckles prominently featured here. I thought this one would probably get a little bit more interest, but actually it doesn't seem to have it yet. Same kind of ballpark here. About $14, a little over that 1 in 10 ratio. Asking prices. $10 up to around 20. See how it plays out as the week goes on, but I just put it on my radar, put it on your radar, something to keep an eye out for. If you're into it, try to get it for ratio or less. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes these things hit and they start selling for multiple times ratio, but doesn't always happen. It's not always the case. And right now it doesn't look like that's the case this week, but I still want to watch because pre-sales alone don't always determine what's going to happen with a book. Because sometimes pre-sales don't tell you the story. You got to see what happens when things actually hit the shelves and people get them in hand. That said, we got a 1 in 25 Joker I thought was pretty cool. I think this is a Ben Oliver cover. I kind of dig it. This is Joker the Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue 12. Is that the final issue? I think it might be the last issue, but pretty cool cover nonetheless. Another one you probably won't see because I don't know how many places are ordering 25 copies of Icon versus Hardware, but Icon versus Hardware number 5, continuing their tradition of doing these homage covers on these incentives for the 1 in 25s. This time out, obviously, you see the Action 1 homage, but with Icon instead of Icon trying to smash Hardware instead of, you know, Soups just smashing the car. That said, this book found 1 pre-sale and 1 available. Pre-sale sold for $60, well above 1 in 25 ratio, more than double. 1 asking $150. See how this one plays out. I don't know how many of these will be out there. Don't know if there'll be enough volume to warrant even a spot on the CBSI Hot 10 list when I run this later in the week. But these are the types of things I'm keeping an eye on. So this is my early look ahead to what could be on the hot list. That's why, partly why I do this. And I want to see what is selling and what doesn't. Just because one sold doesn't mean any more are going to sell. If no more sells, then we can't put it on our list. I know other people might put it on their list, but it ain't going to go on my list. The book don't sell, the book don't sell. But it is worth keeping an eye on, and it is worth noting. That said, the next book already probably has a good chance of making it. I don't know. This, sometimes you can just tell. Sometimes and you give me X23, you give me Jeff DeCall, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to want this, and it seems like they do. 1 in 25 on X-Force number 46. I think that's where we're at now. Yes, a copy sold for $15. You got to watch. Some online retailers that's what they do. They sell their ratios for a certain price, and that's it. But the others sold 50, 80. And those are recent. Those are November 4th through November 6th. So this is in the last couple of days. Asking prices $40 to like $70. Some bigger online retailers like Midtown, your Golden Apples, Things from Another World, wherever. Most of those places are already sold out or are asking, again, these type of prices. So we'll see what happens for this 1 in 25. But this one seems to be one that people want. So keep an eye on it. I know I saw people or spotlighting this on FOCs, etc. But I'm just not an FOC buyer, so I always miss out. And I think I might have missed out on this one because I don't think I'm going to get this for under ratio. And that's all I really like to pay. I don't like to pay over ratio. So this one might have snuck past the goalie. But we'll see. Keeping an eye on it nonetheless. Up next, Dark Ride. Yeah, they've been giving us all of these Disney homages on these 1 in 25s basically throughout the run. So here we got another one. What is this? Snow White, I guess? I think it's Snow White. Whatever. 1 in 25 on issue 9 now of this series. 30 to $45 early pre-sales. Asking price on 155. We'll keep an eye on it on that double ratio kind of price. Don't know if the volume's going to be there, but that seems to be what the market wants. And with that, our final segment, I know a lot of your guys' favorite. It's kind of one of my favorite topics too. Cheesecake covers. This week, we got a nice little selection. Starting off with Dark Ride. Dark Ride has one here. This is just, I don't know if this is the cover A or the cover B, but yeah, pretty cool. I'm into it. I like it. Dark Ride number 9. Cover price, $4 if you want it. Now, here we go. Dynamite. And again, you guys know my complaints. Dynamite just makes too many covers. Too many good covers, too. They're good covers. Like, look at this. We got Sheena. So we got a Perillo. Pretty awesome. We get a Perillo. We also get, I think, a Matt Royal. Not bad. Doing his best Campbell impersonation there. And then we've got, who did that last one? I can't remember who did that last. Oh, Arthur Soydum? I don't know how to say his name. Again, not bad. All three of these, pretty solid covers. And multiple versions of these as well. You get incentives, virgin versions, black and white versions, etc. Because it is Dynamite. But still, some cool options if you're into these covers. Just like Vampirilla Rage. Issue 3 now. We have a Perillo. Once again, on that cover A, I think we have Carla Cohen in this case. And I don't remember who the artist is. It was an unfamiliar name to me on that third one there. But that one actually sold out at Midtown. I like the skull with the snake. You got the, nice little pose there. I know. It's an eye-catching cover. So keep an eye out for it. If you're into it, cover price. That's what these are coming out for. So these are not incentives. These are just regular cover price variants. There may be incentive versions of these. So if you want those, feel free. Pay up as much as you like. But this is our selection of Dynamite books, I think, for this week. Still got a couple more. This Scarlet Couture series, the Munich File. Pretty fun. We got this cover here. We got the girl, the red dress, got a big old, looks like a Magnum. I don't know. Got a B cover here as well. If you're into that, you get kind of a mod kind of vibe from the 60s. Yeah, I kind of dig it. Going back to Poison Ivy, we do have David Nakayama giving us this pretty awesome Poison Ivy. This is a cover price version. And if you are so inclined, even though this is limited trade dress, keep an eye on this because it's not going to change much. There is a 1 in 50 incentive. It is not foil from what I can tell. I usually figure these turning into foil, but it's just another virgin version of this. But considering it's limited trade dress already, there ain't much to remove. But there it is if you want the 1 in 50. Still a nice cover. And I like David Nakayama. You know I'm a fan. Just saying. 1 in 50 prices. Selling for under. These are the recent sales. $40, $44. That's what actually sold. Was that November 3rd? And then that other one back for 44 was back in September. But asking prices 60, 125, 55. So asking a little over ratio to more than double doesn't mean that's what it's going to be, but that seems to be what the market wants. So
let's go fishing.
So it looks like they're going fishing. Maybe they'll get it. Maybe they won't. I don't know. We'll see. There have been a lot of these types of covers with the 1 in 50s, high ratio incentives, and a lot of them don't really hit that above ratio mark. But we'll see. So keeping an eye on it, but don't know. This next one, what was it? Issue 2 to hit. What was the bubblegum cover hit? Here's another Black Canary this time out. I think this is another Otto Schmidt. But Birds of Prey number 3, pretty cool cover. 1 in 25. People seem to be into it. People seem to be digging it. I like it. 40, 36 bucks early pre-sales. What are those? November 4th, November 5th. And then the asking prices right now, people are looking for 100 bucks. This comes out tomorrow. People looking for 100 bucks already on this. So 4 times ratio might be a bit of a stretch, but I think it's like that follow-up effect. You got the bubblegum cover. Everybody was paying crazy high prices. I don't even know where that one's at right now. I'm going to double check that. But I figure you get that runoff here on the next issue. So that's kind of what's happening. I don't think these prices will hold. I think this might settle into that kind of 50-60, like a double ratio. I could see it more clearly than 100. I don't think it's going to be a $100 book, but I have been wrong before. It's just my gut instinct. You do what you want. You want to go throw 100 bucks on this? You're one of those 18 watchers for $100. That's your decision. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm not paying 100 bucks, though. I'll tell you that much. But you do what you like. That said, it is still a cool cover, and I think it is one that people are going to be looking for this week. And we got one left to kind of wrap us up, and that is What If Dark, because all the What If books lately have been dark, Tomb of Dracula. There's too many words for that. It's like too hard to read this title. They're not even in the series. Like, I wish What If was just a series again, and you can call it whatever you want after that, but it's like What If number 12. Like, at this point, all of these one-shot number ones, they're so hard to look up. They're hard to look up. It's just a pain. That said, pretty cool cover here. Archer, Tomb of Dracula, What If Dark. This is a cover price version of this. You can get cover price, version if you like this art, or you could pay up for the 1 in 100 virgin version because it's Marvel and that's what they do. So this one already 1 in 100 pre-sale prices 130, 190. 130 was November 2nd, so that was only a few days ago. That 190 was like a month ago. So you got to watch those early pre-sale buyers. That FOMO gets set in, and they just throw money out there. Who knows? But the asking price is also 225, 235, 235. Pretty steep on this 1 in 100. So once again, we'll see where this one actually lands and if any copies actually sell, because we've seen this happen week in and week out. A lot of these have pre-sales where they pay these high prices of pre-sales and then nothing sells once it hits shelves, at least on the aftermarket. I'm not saying what's not happening down in actual stores, people actually paying for actual comics at stores and cons. I can't track all that. I'm just using eBay because it's the easiest version of sales that we have to track, because other places like Whatnot doesn't give you a history. So I got what I got to try to give you some sense of what the market is doing. And with that all said, hopefully you found that helpful. Hopefully you find that entertaining. Hopefully I showed you some books that you might want or don't want or whatever. I just like doing this, like sharing my look ahead for each week. And thanks for stopping by and checking this out. I am going to go get ready and watch the Jets on Monday Night Football now because, it's almost that time. So with that said, I'll see you all later with some more content. All right.